lights are on.
Day-night Test cricket, it really is quite something.
And out. Pedersen's got 200. He joins the 200 club and he knows it.
Pink's the new red. Mark.
It works.
Oh, there's an edge. Here he comes. He's got plenty.
It's through. There's your Test match. Australia have won the first ever day-night Test.
And what a spectacle it was in Adelaide last year, the first ever day-night Test match. And it was so good. We're having two this season. The all-important pink ball that goes through all different sorts of development phases. And I think we've changed it from last year to this year. We've got Kookaburra's Shannon Gill to talk us through what's happening with the pink ball. G'day, Shannon.
Thanks for having me, Slats.
Great to have you, mate. It was probably a little bit of pressure on Kookaburra last year when that pink ball was first played officially in a day-night Test match, and we all loved it.
Yeah, certainly was, but we think it got through pretty well, and we've made some new developments for this year as well.
Yeah, well, I just want to show this before we get into asking questions. I just want to show everyone the development phase that it does go through. I love this because that's the original colour. That's how it starts. It's sort of a pinky maroon. That's when it's turned into a ball, which would be very much like a proper red ball, would it be? If you left it in that state.
Very similar to a red ball, but obviously we need it visible under lights, so that's when the coating comes on to make sure it is visible under lights, resulting in this finished product.
And you've changed it from a green and white to a black seam this year.
That's right. So the green and white seam we used last year, which I think Tubby's got over here, the feedback we had was that the players had a little bit of difficulty picking up the seam. The contrast wasn't as great as what they'd used to on a red ball with white seam. So we've gone with the black seam. We trialled it in the Sheffield Shield last year and subsequently got the thumbs up that it was much improved. So we've gone with it ever since.
I think, Shannon, by memory, this one that was the one they used last year.
Yeah.
It was called the G7 or the Generation 7 ball, I think. So you've now got the one they're going to use this year, the G8.
That's correct.
That stands for years of development, doesn't it? Because we're now into 8 years of development.
8 years of development.
Ball.
I mean, it's 10 years ago that the ICC came to us, came to ball companies wanting to produce something.
Yep.
So we've been working on it for 10 years, but 8 years of solid work, I suppose, on actually making balls. And it was a little bit like the World Series cricket days. We initially had lots of different coloured balls. Pink was designated by the ICC and the MCC as the one that they wanted to run with. Yep. Subsequently, that's what we've been doing ever since.
I reckon the ball about 3 years ago was a really matte pink, wasn't it?
Correct, yeah.
But your number one priority is visibility.
Visibility of the ball is the number one priority. So I think you've got two things working against each other. You need to have the ball visible under lights, but at the same time, a lighter coloured ball, which you need it to be under lights, is going to scuff more than a red ball. So we put different coating on it, extra coating. So it's going to feel a little bit different to a red ball, but I suppose the basics of the game are the same.
But yeah, I mean, it is a different quality to the red in the sense that it wears more quickly. I mean, with the instructions, does it say to the groundsman, leave more grass on to keep it new?
Well, we stay out of that, but I think it's a known, it's a fact that the more abrasive a pitch is, the more it's going to scuff a ball, and the more of an issue that's going to be on a lighter coloured ball.
And for the viewers at home, Slats, can you get that board out again?
Yeah.
See, when it scuffs, are we going to see that pink, that darker maroon pink colour underneath? And is that still visible enough for your liking?
The idea is that through the life of the ball, it won't quite get down to that. This coating is designed to stay as good as possible throughout. So it won't. That's where it differs from a traditional red ball that gets down to that.
Yeah. But the core of the ball itself is still exactly the same as the red.
Structurally, exactly the same.
I heard some comments after the recent round of day-night Shield games that they had here in Australia that some of the players thought it might have gone a bit soft in the middle, but that's just something that could happen to a red ball as well.
Yeah, structurally it's exactly the same. So it can happen to a red ball, it can happen to any sort of ball. Yeah. Look, it probably feels a little bit different just because, you know, most guys have been used to playing with a red ball for however many years, and now they're feeling a ball that has that little bit more coating on it. than a normal red ball.
And another thing you've had to deal with, getting that visibility right, is no trail behind the ball for the batsman's eyes or fielder's eyes.
And interestingly enough, whereas last year's test was bowler dominated, we had a pink ball day-night test in Dubai last month, and a lot of the worry was with batsmen with visibility to the ball before the game. Pakistan came out and scored 3 for 579 in the first innings, so that kind of finished off that argument.
Just got very lucky, mate.
Well, it's been interesting because over the years, I think we were all involved in orange ball shield cricket when they were trialling that. I think prior to that, there was a yellow ball used. A couple of those had a little bit of a comet-like trail to them. So the development's been amazing. But the player feedback is crucial now, isn't it?
Absolutely.
I mean, you want to keep sort of making it.
In the finish, it's the players and the governing bodies that make the game. We're just there to try and make the best ball possible for that.
From our broadcast point of view, it was excellent, wasn't it? I mean, you could just see it so well.
Yeah.
And I think it was at times a bit like the white ball last year, that in that twilight period between when the lights are coming on but there's still natural sunlight, like the white ball, occasionally you can lose it in the crowd, but I think that's just something that no matter what colour ball it's going to be at that time of day, you are going to lose it at times. But I think as I said, I can't speak for the players, but I think people are picking it up better than they used to be. And as you say, there's definitely more colour enhancement in that ball there, the G8, compared to even last year. So there's, once again, you've gone an extra step further.
And we're always doing research and development on ball. We're not saying that this is it. We're always trying to update and improve products.
Good on you, mate. Well, thanks for coming on the show. We're very excited. So we've got Adelaide next, and then we've got the Gabba, the first test against Pakistan. So we look forward to it. Good on you, Shannon. Just around the corner they are. Now, day 3 of each test match this summer is known as Toyota Good for Cricket Club. Toyota has provided free raffle tickets and prizes to a number of grassroots clubs across the country to help them generate much-needed financial support. Today, we're featuring Tasmania's Wheelie Park Rockers, a multicultural club that provides opportunities for locals and immigrants to share their passion for cricket and forge new friendships.
Street cricket was just about fun. The first game was at my backyard. Eventually, we want to develop our game of cricket. So we got advice from our coaches, and that's how we got into this league cricket.
But moving to club level, there was heavily cost involved. That's why Toyota Good for Cricket has been really, really useful to us.
Cricket is a life-changing thing for us in Australia, which brought us together.